Whoa! Hi, Nala Pups. She just jumps right in. She's like, where's my buddy? Tilly's in bad books.
Oh. What did she do?
Not sure. I got it from Sarah and I'd rather not see it on camera.
Okay. Time to get going.
Every time I do this, I feel like I'm lock and load. It's like I'm putting my phone in my battery case. I'm like,
Sweet. Do you know what I've been watching? I've been watching Con Air again.
oh yeah,
Man, that movie's genius.
that's awesome.
I'm only at the bit when they've landed at Carson City.
They've got the whole world
In his hands, he's got the whole wide world. It's when they bring on Garland Green. He's like, "Hey man, that's Garland Green." And they totally bring him on with the mask
That's
on.
right, yeah. That mixed in with got the whole world in his hands. You're like, ah, that's creepy, man.
Oh, he sits down with the wee girl. You're like, "No, don't eat her." But then luckily afterwards, she's like, "Hey, wait."
Yeah.
You're like, at least she was okay. So.
Yeah, because your heart's going in your throat, right?
I know. Right, we'll crack on. So the weather is terrible.
The weather outside is frightful.
But if we go inside, it'll be delightful. So if you've no place to go, like us right now.
To the hall, to the hall, to the hall.
Yeah, we couldn't make that decision. We're like, we're going to go into the woods. We're like, nah.
Woods or hall?
Woods all. Get the camera ready. Ooh. So, we haven't told you about our gangster dogs, have we? Oh. So, it was after the live workout on Saturday, actually. We were walking back along the trail, and this guy jumps out a Defender with 6 dogs, all labs, weren't they?
Yeah.
And the lead dog came roaring up the path, roaring, barking, growling. So Nala and Tilly took off to meet it. I don't know if it was a boy or a girl, I hadn't worked that out.
Yeah.
And they just bolted after. They weren't barking.
No.
They got up to it and then the dog shat its pants.
Yeah.
It's like whimpering and running away, and they were just trying to sniff it.
Yep.
Then the other 5 came up, they're all sniffing, and every now and again one of the 5 would growl, and then Nala or Tilly would snap at them and put them back in their place. And then the owner was struggling to try and
control it, and obviously they were working dogs, right? It was like a pack of working dogs. But no, it was funny because obviously the little black dog was just aggressive, and obviously just trying to, barking. And those two were just feel like there's not a bad bone in the body. They just wanted to play, and they're like, right, okay, is it playtime? It's playtime. That dog was like, all right, you're not getting put off by my bark. I'm going to shut up now.
But every time again, one of them was trying to go too far. They were just growling just slightly and put them back in their place. They went back to sniffing them. And then we walked on. We were like, our dog's a gangster.
If there was ever time though, those videos that you get when something happens and then the little glasses appear on their face and release the gun.
Oh yeah. And it plays a gangster tune.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah.
So today's episode is all about the language that you use.
God damn! No, not that kind of language, right?
You've always got to be very careful with language. People say, the words don't hurt. But they do. They hurt you, the person that's using them, more often than not.
Now generally you'll be using them to communicate with others, and you don't realise that your subconscious is listening too. So be very, very careful with that language you're using. And if you are using this language, this video is here to help you to analyse that and make changes in your lifestyle. There might be very small changes. You might think to yourself, well, how's that going to help me? But deep down, in places you've never known existed, someone's listening, your subconscious.
Yeah, so you're always creating. You're always creating your life, your lifestyle, your future. Every single thought, every single feeling, every single action is creating your future. So you've got to ask yourself what thoughts and what words you're using, because words are then just an extension of the thought process. And words are not real, first of all, but they reflect on what the thoughts and the feelings are in your head.
Now, one of the main issues that people have, and they don't even realise they're doing it, and I have even done this in the past, people they'll turn an action or a process into a thing. Okay, so if you want to be technical, they'll take a verb and they'll make a noun out of it. Now, this is this is a problem because the thing is not tangible, it's not something you can touch. They might say, I have anxiety. Okay, now that's a common one. Lots of people have opened up about that. And
take that, put it in my pocket.
Okay, so anxiety, you've now made it a thing, right? But where is that thing? You've got to say, well, where is your anxiety? Is it here? Are you holding it? Can you forget to take it with you one day? And it's not then, and this is the problem that you've created, is although you can't hold it, touch it, or forget it, you can't get rid of it either because you can't touch it.
Exactly. So when you're thinking about these words that you're using, it could be I have anxiety, I have depression. It works in the positive aspect as well. When you say I am, or I have happiness in my life, that can be a real positive. Again, it's not quite the right use of language, but it's a very positive affirmation rather than a negative one. Once you make it a negative, it's very difficult to then get rid of it.
Now, if you've got a thing, like we were describing there, if you've turned it into a thing and you use that regularly, okay, then what you want to do is, you can't do much with a thing. A thing is solid, it's definite, it's real, you can't change it. But if you can turn that into an action can be changed. So if you said, I suffer from bouts of anxiety, or I have anxiety when, suddenly you've then got something you can work with. So just changing that language when you're communicating with other people will certainly start to talk to levels in your subconscious that you can't normally talk to.
Yeah. The word mindfulness has been thrown around a lot, and it means maybe something slightly different to a bunch of different people. But for me, and this is exactly what Rab was talking about there, by you saying, like, say for instance, you do something, like, we'll use anxiety as the example here. If you say, I have anxiety, you think it's a thing, you can't get rid of it. Whereas if you say, actually, I'm experiencing anxiety at the moment, and I always say that if you use the words, that's funny, I'm experiencing anxiety at the moment, I wonder why that is. So you're not denying it, but you're also not connecting to it. You're saying, okay, well, it's there, I'm experiencing it at the moment, I wonder why that is. It allows you to be mindful of these negative feelings that you don't want in your life.
And once you've identified that, then you can maybe take that further. It won't happen overnight, but you could say, okay, what is causing that anxiety when I'm feeling that? It might be that you've got, maybe you have anxiety about social situations, and you've got something in the diary that you're really nervous about. And you're like, oh no, it's coming up, and that's causing you problems. So then once you know what it is, you can start to deal with it. But just labeling yourself as, I have anxiety, you're opening yourself up to making things worse.
And like I said at the start of this, you can flip this on its head and say, actually, well, having these affirmations can be a very positive thing. So when you say, I have happiness in my life, okay, it's still the wrong way to look at it, but it creates a lot more happiness in your life. You just think, generally, I am a happy person, I am happy. And then if you do then experience a little bit of anxiety, if you do experience a lot of anxiety or depression or whatever it might be, then you can disassociate with it, because you know, no, I'm a happy person and I'm just experiencing this at the moment, and it allows for very positive steps forward.
You also have to be aware of the language when you self-label. Now in weight loss, generally someone comes in, and if they're quite a sort of open and bouncy character, they'll sit down and they'll say, what's your goals? And they'll be like, well, Rab, I'm fat. I am fat.
Now the two most powerful words in the English language are I am. Now, if you just say I am, it can be very, very powerful, and we won't go into that at the moment. That's for a meditation-based video that we might do at a later date. But whatever follows I am becomes your reality. So whatever you're experiencing at the moment, do not give yourself that label. By you saying I am fat,
then you've given yourself that label. It's not what you're experiencing today, it's what you're creating for tomorrow.
So exactly with the changing things into an action, you want to change the I am into an action, something that you can make changes with.
So a lot of people will use, they'll say affirmations, rather than saying I am fat, just say, oh, I am skinny, I am skinny, I am skinny. Unfortunately, that doesn't work because your subconscious has a bullshit filter. And I just say, no, you're not. What's that?
That's bullshit in sign language.
Oh, is it?
I'm learning.
Damn. Yeah.
So rather than trying to trick your subconscious to say, I am skinny, you use a different affirmation. You say, well, rather than saying, I am fat, it's a statement, it's creating your future, just say, my energy balance is out of sync at the moment. I'm not balanced with my intake and my exercise. My fat storage system is not optimal at the moment. That's something that I need to work on. It's something I am developing. I am getting leaner every single day. There's an affirmation that you can hold true to yourself, and your subconscious will not throw up the bullshit.
Damn.
Filter.
So be mindful of the language you're using, mostly for who's listening, your subconscious.
Always think about your own future and make a plan for being aware of the language, because this is not going to fix overnight. Rab and I will still use language, and some things we'll pick each other up on it as well. You're like, oh, actually, really, is that true? You're like, and we correct it. So just have a plan of, so, you know what, I'm going to be aware of my language, and every time I say something that is counterproductive to my future, I'm going to instantly take it back and change the language. And the more times you do that, the more or the less it'll happen in the future. Now, here's some sign language for you to get this right.
What does that mean?
Stick to the damn plan.
Is it?
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah.
I've got a new one, which is, are you ready?
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah. Knackered, I could really go for a nap.
Stretch it.
Stretch it both ways.
Maybe try your tongue.